So Elon Musk just came out with a big announcement that has left everyone shocked. XAI have just announced Grok 1.5 Vision. Now, this Grok 1.5 Vision preview completely came out of nowhere and just dropped out of nowhere. And the craziest part about this announcement and this preview of the new Grok version is that it seems to be holding up really well against the other top models at the moment. Along with that, we have also got Sam Altman pitching ideas to the US military. So let's talk about all this. On screen right now is the table comparing the top models at the moment. We have GPT-4v, Claude 3 Sonnet, Claude 3 Opus, and Gemini 1.5 Pro, which was just announced by Google. And then competing against all these models, we have Grok 1.5 Vision, this new one they've just announced here. And they tested the new Grok model in a number of benchmarks against all these other top models. And the craziest part is that it seems to be holding up really well in these tests. The first benchmark is the multi-discipline benchmark, which is a sort of general test across multiple fields, and this new version of Grok scored 53.6%. Now that is lower than all the other models other than Claude 3 Sonnet. It does still hold up pretty well and it's not too far off, which is a pretty big deal considering where it was when Grok first came out and it was incredibly far behind. The next benchmark is the mathematics benchmark, and Grok 1.5 scores 52.8%, which is the highest out of all of these models. They have an example here using a picture showing the nutritional information of a food, and they ask Grok how many calories are there in 5 slices of this, and Grok gets the correct answer. We then have the diagrams benchmark, which Grok scores the best out of other than against Claude 3 Sonnet, which is a bit bizarre because Claude 3 Opus is obviously meant to be the better version, but for some reason Sonnet has taken the win here. On the text reading test, Grok again takes the win with no data being available from Claude 3. Here we have an example of a flowchart that has been made for a simple script, and the image of this flowchart has been inputted into Grok with the prompt, "Can you translate this into Python code?" And Grok manages to do it perfectly. And I suppose the most impressive thing about this is that it is hand drawn on a whiteboard, so the whole nature of the diagram is a little bit random. I mean, it's not like an electronically created diagram where everything's perfectly lined up. We then have the charts benchmark, which again, although it does get the lowest score out of all the models, it's really not far off, only 5% off of the top performing model here. The documents benchmark, same story as the charts really, lowest performance, but again not far off. And then the final benchmark is the real world understanding one. And here Grok 1.5v did score the best out of all the top models. And as far as what real world understanding testing actually means, they state on the website, they say, "It is crucial to advance a model's understanding of the physical world. This benchmark is designed to evaluate basic real world spatial understanding capabilities of multimodal models." What a mouthful. And then they give some examples here. They have this picture here of the toy dinosaur next to a phone with the compass out, and they ask it which direction it's facing, and it does actually get the right answer here. Another example here, this one is particularly impressive, I think. It's this sort of blurry, not so high quality and dark image of a car in the left lane, and they ask Grok which way should we be going from this lane, and they give it 4 options, and again it gets the right answer. I do think this one is particularly impressive for a language model to figure out, because the picture, it's not in high quality, it's dark, there's nothing clear about it at all really, and the only thing that would get you through this in real life is being a human and having the common sense to know you're in the left lane, you go in left. But Grok had to figure out which lane it was in and decide on the subsequent action. And considering this is Grok 1.5, it is also worth noting that Elon Musk said that Grok 2 is already in training and will be done in May and is believed to be released this year. So it'll be crazy to see where that goes. So next up, crazy headline here. Microsoft pitched OpenAI's DALL-E as a battlefield tool for the US military. Microsoft last year proposed using OpenAI's mega popular image generation tool to help the Department of Defense build software. So this was apparently last year, but is only being reported on now. So obviously someone's had the scoop, someone's leaked this information out. So this Microsoft presentation provided a general breakdown of how the Pentagon can make use of OpenAI's machine learning tools, including the immensely popular ChatGPT text generator and DALL-E image creator. No surprise here, but the Pentagon's AI office did not respond to a request for a comment. Now, apparently one of the things they talked about was advanced computer vision training, where they would use the DALL-E model to create images to train battle management systems. So essentially, Microsoft want the military to use OpenAI's tools to train their equipment and make it more accurate and dependable. So rather than using real-world data, they use artificially generated data, sort of what they're now doing with robotics, and they're training the robots in virtual worlds. So we do actually have the presentation document here, and I've had a look through it. There's nothing super interesting in it, and most importantly, it doesn't provide any further detail about how exactly they would be training these battle management systems. But the gist of it is essentially, as we said before, synthetic training data, artificially created scenes that closely resemble real life. This is still a really big deal, right? And I think we all sort of know deep down that the better AI gets, the more likely it's going to be implemented into the military. It's not really a question of if anymore, and it's rather a question of when. Another crazy thing that has just recently been said, just a quick one here for you, the Anthropic CEO, Anthropic being the company that make the Claude models, has said that next year we may have models one step short of causing human extinction. I gotta tell you, that is a pretty terrifying statement. And he has this little display here where it shows this year or next year significantly higher risk models, and it has this level system. So he thinks these incredibly intelligent models could be here as early as next year. Crazy statement there. And then finally for today, Macs will get AI focused M4 chips starting in late 2024. Apple will begin updating its Mac lineup with M4 chips in late 2024. The M4 chip will be focused on improving performance for artificial intelligence capabilities. So this is obviously just Apple gearing up for the future, because I know what's coming, you guys know what's coming, and Apple know what's coming, and it's artificial intelligence. So supposedly they're nearing the production of this new processor, and it will come in 3 varieties: a low-end one, a medium-end one, and a top-end chip. The top-end chip obviously being for the Mac Pro, and then they discuss the increase of memory in the Macs, which could be going up to 512 gigabytes as opposed to the previous Max limit, which was 192, which again we can likely assume is probably related in some form to AI, as we know AI needs its memory. So it's clear to me that Apple is just gearing up for the future. They don't want to be left behind as a mega company, and they need their hardware to be in the right spot. Crazy stuff today. If you're still here, I really appreciate you. Leave a like if you can. It really does help me out in the algorithm, and thanks for watching.